Hi guys, just thought I'd do a little video on Monster Hunter. I've just had a really difficult fight against this guy, Tempered Gravius. So I thought I'd chill for a bit and just do a little video um, from popular demand of one person. So yeah, they've been asking why I've been playing Monster Hunter instead of being on my usual games, or why I've not been going out as much to the pub or whatever. Honestly, I'm just kind of addicted to this game. The gameplay loop is awesome, whether you're on your own or with friends. Monster Hunter Wilds is scratching that itch for action, no nonsense. Um, Pick a boss, punch it, get the thing, make your gear. So before I start, for people who actually know how to play this game, I'll just show you what I'm rocking. Really weird build, you probably won't see this online. Yeah, I made this for myself. It comes with stopping me from getting shrieked at, Divine Blessing, which is a random chance to dodge death damage and does weird stuff like reduces incoming damage, and I don't really know. It just has saved me quite a few times, you know. Razor Sharp. I think sharpness is better than getting raw attack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I go to the training dummy and hit stuff with Razor Sharp on in white sharpness, I just do better damage. So I think I hit 80 flat with Razor Sharp and Handicraft and Critical Jewel. I hit like 94. So it is a significant increase if you think each hit. But enough about the maths. Yeah, I like the haste and recovery. I like the burst boost. So that's how I play. My weapon is a Paralysis Charge Blade. Was very lucky with the craft on it. As you can see, this is kind of what you want to get as your perfect craft, in my opinion. I'm not bothered about anything apart from raw attack. You crit so much with a charge blade, you don't really need affinity. You get that from your abilities. So that is what I'm running. That's what I'm rocking. Let's punch something. Do I want to kill two octopuses? Maybe. Let's have a look, see if there's anything better. I'm basically looking for quests with lots of stuff. Stuff is good. Okay. Let's see if I can kill a Tempered Arkfeld without making a fool of myself. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So if you haven't played this game before, I highly recommend it. If you played any of the old ones, I definitely recommend it. It's like they've taken the old one, all the bits I hated about it, and kind of streamlined it. I am probably their target audience. It doesn't seem to be targeting the sweats. It seems to be targeting the people who kind of enjoyed it but found it a bit too difficult. You know, I've had a lot of criticism. Oh, it's too easy. It's too easy. Is it though? You can make it as difficult as you like. You can self-impose challenges. There is going to be an arena mode, and there are going to be arch nemesis, arch demon, arch tempered, whatever variants of monsters coming up. So don't complain too early. This is the first patch. I think the difficulty's fine. It makes it enjoyable for me knowing that I can comfortably beat each monster without pulling my hair out. So yeah, let's get into a hunt. So the reason I'm going for this one is there's some red weapon parts you'll see here. I don't know if this is guaranteed, but they seem to give ancient weapon fragments that give tier 8 parts for weapons. And I like to craft the weapons. I like to craft as many weapons as I can of each type. Currently I'm spam crafting ice weapons. I know that there's going to be a new version of a monster that's weak to ice. No spoilers, but you know, I'm trying to get ahead of that by getting the perfect craft on an ice weapon. Every edge that I can get I will take. So I'm just going into my shortcut menu at the bottom. I use PC. You know, you've got buttons on a PC, so just use them. Don't restrict yourself. I prefer playing on PC for that reason. It actually plays really well, but you can tell this is a console port. There are some major performance issues. That is the weirdest place I've ever found a monster, in like a tiny cave. But let's go for it, Let's smash him. So I'll start with a little jump. The monster will scream. Yeah. Hopefully he won't blind me if I run around here. Good. And then on the second jump you'll always land on him. So it's a really nice way with the charge blade just to get some free damage. Get some wounds going. So I'm going to put a wound on his back. And I'm going to get one on his tail as well if I can, before he whips me off. So if you're playing on a keyboard, you'll hear me spamming away. I've got an old mechanical one. Hold shift when he's trying to flip you off. And it'll grab onto the tail or grab onto the head or whatever. I'll give you a little cheat tutorial on how to play Charge Blade with relative ease after this. But all you need to know is it's about 2 buttons to get some crazy damage going. So this guy's going to start frantically running around and flapping. I'm being greedy here. There we go, yep, cool. So he's run off out of this weird alcove. I've never fought a monster in such a tight spot, so hopefully he'll go somewhere I can actually see. Alright, we're going up there. I've never been up here. Interested to see what's up here. Let's follow him, see where he takes me. Usually I'd throw a flash pod, jump on him, see what's going on, but I'm kind of curious to see where... Oh, we're just going to fight in this weird hole. Okay. Wasn't as impressive as I thought. Never mind. This is where he wants to die, I guess. So you'll notice that parts of the monster will light up red or blue. With a charge blade, you can double tap shift when you see like a glowing bit, and it will go into this axe mode where all of your hits, if you hold the button, will do extra bits of damage as they go through the monster. So I think I've nearly killed this guy already, just from doing 2 attacks. Right click, left click, right click. It's honestly so easy. I love it because it on difficult monsters it takes away the need to think. You've got like all of these amazing weapons you can play. Charge Blade is my favourite. It just works. Alright, so he's dead now. And this is what all hunters do when the monster's dead. They just cut him up because we need to make bits of armour out of them and use bits and bobs to make potions or trade. So yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're into gathering, you can run around, chill, fish, catch bugs with a net. I just like killing stuff, so I will capture stuff if it's on the way, but I don't tend to go out of my way to gather. You can spend time gathering, and it is something to do while, you know, if you're busy with something else, you can have it on the other screen and kind of just let your discount Yoshi run you around the map, and you can just aim at stuff and collect it whenever you feel like. He'll just constantly run in a circle if you let him. If you want to go towards the monster, just double tap tab, yeah, and he will follow the trajectory of where it's going. Like, I'm not touching the keyboard now. You could go away, make a coffee, come back, and he would be circling the monster. This is probably one of my least favourite zones aesthetically because it's just very brown. It just, you know, but I think it makes the monsters look a bit washed out. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. There are lots of environment bits and bobs you can do, like you just saw there. which make the game a lot more fun. When you, especially if you're in multiplayer and you drop a rock on your friend's head, that's always fun. So this guy, I've always had trouble with this guy, so you might see me fall over quite a lot, but I'm going to try my best and focus up a bit, see if I can not make a tit out of myself. So I've got one jump on him, I'm going to go for the second one. See if I can land. Right, flashed him first. There we go. So now I'm just getting some wounds on his head. Every time I see that black border, I just hold shift. That stops my stamina from depleting. Hopefully he'll smash into this. Nice. Okay, cool. So we should have a wound on his head. Double tap shift whilst aiming at it. Anytime today. Okay, I guess not. Let's see if I can chop my way out of this corner. Okay. Come on, go get that wound on his head. There we go. So now I've activated Savage Axe finally, so I can start doing some damage. Ugh. He punishes me, this guy. Can I get out of the corner? Yes, I'm out of the corner. Perfect. Don't know if you saw that, I threw a little pod. With the charge blade you can hold focus, hold block, and tap the middle button, and it'll throw a pod like that. So if he grabs you or starts pulling weird faces at you, you can just interrupt that with a nice little pod attack. Holy hell, I nearly got one shot there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go over here a bit, try and find some pods. There we go. Because he has a tendency, when he's tempered, to pick you up a lot. So when he does, it's important you have a pod or he'll just kill you basically straight away. Right. Don't know how he missed me 3 times in a row, but he did. Awesome, I'll take it. Okay, so there's a little wound there. I'm going to try. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So now I should be able to jump through while he's down and get the Savage Axe on again. Look. Look at all that damage there. It's insane. And now he's paralysed. Amazing. So these bits, usually you'd go for the head, because the head does, you know, the majority of the damage in the old Monster Hunter Wilds. You know, monsters breathe fire, they scream, etc. But on this guy, I've noticed, like, if you break his wings, he seems to do a lot less damage to you. And that's because he's always throwing them around like chains. Oh, he's off already. Okay. So at this point, call my little dude. Take off my mantle, which is C on the keyboard. The letter C. And then I have 1 bound to sharpen when I'm on my mount. So I can just chill now. On the way to the next monster, have a look around for bits. Just randomly shoot stuff. What you can do with these, if you've run out of flash pods, which is pretty handy, if you get your net out and then throw it, it will capture the flash flies for you. So I should be able to craft those later into flash pods. So always think about your terrain as you're going along. I'm going to use a demon drug here, which is like a potion you can use. And hopefully that should land on him. Yes, lovely. Alright, let's break his face a bit. Lovely. And double tap shift on the blue bit. Savage Axe out. It's insane. Absolutely mental. I've got earplugs on, so shouts aren't going to affect me. Lets me chain stun him. Pop a flash. Life's good. Getting a good rhythm here. Just keep on him. And then block. That's it. And then just repeat. Hopefully I should be able to knock him down now. No, I missed. Silly me. But I can get a block here and recharge my blade full. That's good. And there's a wound on his face, so I'm going to try and jump for it. But I've got boomer hands, so I've missed twice. Let's go for a cheeky jump, see if he lets me land on him. Nope. Ha! My Palico put a trap down. Calculated, accidentally on purpose. I'm going to try and get his tail now. It's looking a bit worse for wear. Hopefully I can get it by jumping on it. Look, my Palico's coming at me with a little bit of health, bless him. Bit late, but never mind. Let's go for his wound again. And next time I'm going to be focusing on his tail if I knock him over. Okay. I let them fly off, I'll be honest. It gives me that break just to have a think. Look at what I need to do, check if I've got enough stamina. I'll eat some food. Check I've got potions. If you don't have any pods, you can equip the throwing knife. Like that. And it doesn't do any damage really, but for when you need to have something to throw at him when he picks you up, you can use a throwing knife. It's free, it's infinite. Cool. So you can trap monsters on this if they've got skulls around them. Like on your mini-map you'll see on the bottom left, he's got a skull around him. So I could pop down a pitfall trap or shock trap that you can craft, throw a couple of trank bombs at him or use trank knife, and you know, it will end the hunt and I will have captured him. Or you can just do the preferred method, my preferred method, is fight him to the end. You know, because as he's just about to die, that's when he's his most lethal. So, you know, if you want to learn how to play this game, I'd suggest slaying the monsters and then capturing them. If you capture them, you miss out on quite a bit of the main battle. Is his last. You know, look, he's getting vicious, he's getting quick, he's blasting the floor. I'll show you some of the animations he does. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, look, the distance he gets. It's insane. Here we go again, look. The animations are incredible. The bosses are okay design-wise. I have found a lot of them are really flappy and they're not like the old ones, you know, where like Rathian and Rathalos would have an attack pattern. You could kind of play against it. This guy can sometimes hit you, sometimes not. You could be standing in the same position as you were, and there's like a 50-50 chance it'll hit you or not. You know, sometimes I feel like I should have been hit, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't, and no one wants to feel like that when they're playing, but hopefully they tune it correctly. Hopefully this is just like a work in progress. But a lot of the monsters that I've found while I'm in melee, I can't see what the hell's going on unless I've got that silhouette around me. I don't know which way they're facing. You just kind of have to remember which way you went in, and they just fly off like that, swoop around, which is fine. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but I find these monsters on this game are different. They are just different. They don't seem to have a predictable behaviour, but weirdly they seem to be easier to kill. Like, you can just keep pressure on them, get in, get in, get in, flash spam them, trap them. There are ways to kind of stun lock the monster. So I'm going to try and kill him now. Because my timer on the oven's just gone. Haha, perfect. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this one. I just need to grab a snack. So you'll see a pause and I'll be right back. I might as well keep you in the same video. Hi guys, arrived back to the best screen, the loot. This is what we do it for. So I've just carved all the bits off this guy, the Tempered Archveld. I don't really know what these stars mean. I presume more stars equals harder to kill. You know, I didn't feel threatened at all through that. I didn't feel like I was gonna die. I felt very much in control, even though I was getting knocked over. I just want you guys to know that the people who are posting the best build, you know, the best damage, that is for speedrunning, okay? That is for when you've fought the monster 30 times, you know exactly what you're going to do in a certain area, you know, you're pulling the environment onto them, you know the monster's moves inside and out. For average gamer like me, go for stuff that mitigates, go for stuff to stop flinches, stop being screamed at, you know, resistances, you know, stuff you forget to take on the hunts, like hot drinks, cold drinks. You can gem for that stuff. So I have made the Lazy Man's build. It's probably going to be the title of the video, to be honest. And it gets results. You know, I don't think that was a particularly long hunt. 15 minutes for a tempered Argfeld and a chicken. Forget what his name is, but you know, 15 minutes, you get a decent bit of loot. It was very safe and it was chill. If you bring a friend in, it would probably be 10 minutes. You know, I know the difficulty scales up, but because there's two of you whacking on the monster, you get into this pattern of just stun locking it. So these bits here, I collect them like mad. They allow you to build weapons, and there is an RNG element to the weapons. They get bonuses when you craft them, and I just keep rolling until I get the bonus I want, which is just a raw attack. And these jewels here are quite good. This one I'm going to use for a different build. But charge up handicraft, if you didn't have a gem and you were using a charge blade, that's perfectly acceptable. Earplugs, brilliant jewel, underestimated. Yeah, so I could either use them or chuck them into a melding pot and make different gems out of them. But yeah, I said I was going to do a little charge blade tutorial. I'm not going to go to the dummy because there's enough videos of that nonsense. But all you need to know with a charge blade, let's get to a clear bit here. Right, so left click, get your weapon out, and you attack. Right click, you can hold, smack the monster. Yeah, you can easily charge up by just doing this with left click if you want to. You know, and that's how I was playing when I started it. I was like, oh okay, I noticed my vials are charging up. So the vials are just under my sharpness bar in the top left. I'll switch to a new weapon so you can see that they're empty. So this is my other weapon, my other charge blade. They're empty. Okay, so all you need to know with charge blade, you hit stuff. I can use this corpse, I think. As you hit stuff, you'll see top left the vials will change colour depending on what gems you're running. But you can attack like 6 times and it'll get to red. Okay, if you keep going, it will stop you from hitting. It will glance like that. You see, ding. So to get around that, I just did it habitually. Very sorry, but if you just hold R on your keyboard to block, and then you press either left click to get into your switch axe, but if you press R and then right click and hold it, it'll load it into your shield. Yeah, do you see that? The vials have all gone straight into your shield. So now, like the observant among you, if you hold R and press left click, you've now got an empowered attack because your shield is the end of your axe. So everything you do now will have extra damage with your Savage Axe. Yeah. So all you need to know really, hit stuff, hold R, and then hold right click. Yeah. Hit stuff until you're full again. Yeah. I'm not doing any fancy combos, I'm literally just showing you, you can left click repeatedly. You know, the monster will be flapping around, you just press the left click, hold R, right click. Yep. So now you've got a fully charged shield. Yep. And you've got vials. So every time you hit a monster now, those vials will deplete if you're using Savage Axe attacks. Can you see how they're going down when I use strikes that come across like that? You see? So all I'm doing there is literally right click. I'm just tapping right click. And you can see there's some really heavy attacks. If you just keep spamming right click, that is a perfectly acceptable way to fight. It's not optimum, but you will be doing something, yeah? You can spam both clicks, and it'll do a super amped elemental discharge. Sounds really fancy, but all you've done is press both mouse clicks. Yeah? You can just press both mouse clicks repeatedly. It looks like you're doing all these cool combos, but all you're doing is pressing the same two buttons over and over. Yeah? It makes it appear like it's really complicated. It's not a complicated weapon at all. So how do you activate Savage Axe? Well, as you saw me when I was fighting, you find a glowy bit, you point your focus, so focus is really important. You will know about focus mode if you play the game, play through the story, it teaches you about it. So you aim your focus at a wound, so glow red, glow blue, and you double tap shift. Okay? So when you double tap shift, you leap forward. If the last strike on that leap hits the wound, Savage Axe will come out. Okay? So you just tap it, keep spamming it like that, and as soon as you see the Savage Axe come out, you hold the shift button, and it'll keep grinding like you saw in when I was fighting. It'll just keep grinding in a circle. If the last hit hits the monster's wound, it usually flinches them or sends them to the floor. And at that point what you would do is a combination of right clicks and left clicks. So you're spinning around, you're resetting it with left click, yeah, right click, left click, right click, right click, right click, left click, and you just do that repeatedly. If a monster comes towards you and you're thinking, oh god, I've not got my shield out, I don't really want to get my shield out, what you can do, if you get the timing right, is just roll. You can roll any direction. And if you only need to adjust slightly, like you need to get, I don't know, we need to get closer to that bit of the monster, you can just hold a direction and the click. So we need to go over here, you can kind of strafe, you can move forward, you can also hit backwards like that, which is one I use a lot. Because what I find is when I'm inside a monster and they're like, you know, going over me, you can do this, and kind of roll back and then get to the head again. You'll get used to it. And if you want to switch over to something that, oh, I don't know, he's about to breathe fire and it's in a cone, just press R. Yeah. So you're in Savage Axe, just press R. To get back into Savage Axe, hold R, left click. Yeah. Press R to get back into shield. Whilst you're holding R, left click. And you can actually rotate this. Okay, so I've done it before where it's like block, smash, block, smash. You can do that on monsters, right? And because usually their attack patterns are they'll punch, 3 seconds later they'll punch. You can actually get into a rotation of doing perfect blocks. If you manage to press the block at the exact time, like get your, so block and left click at the same time like this. Do you see where it glows white? Like that? White. If the monster hits you when it's white, sometimes you get the monster into a grapple. And it will stick on your shield for about 3-4 seconds. It's amazing in a group. It's also really good to charge Blade solo. But in a group you can kind of hold that position for a very long time. So all your pals can... So yeah, that was my first Monster Hunter video. I descended into waffling, as I often do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a good game. I'm not going to start watching these cutscenes that I was skipping relentlessly. I just couldn't put up with it. I wanted to fight. I found the cutscenes just too much. I forgot what each button did because I was watching a movie in little 10-minute snippets. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. catch you on the next one.